Hello? Oh, that was weird. I don't know why that did that. Alright, I can turn this off now because I don't really need to split up the audio for this. I just want complete and utter display and microphone should be just fine. Alright. For everyone who's watching this after, I thought I would say hello. My name is Aiden. I do sound design stuff. And I thought it would be fun to do a little series where every day, well, not every day, every 3 days a week, I would do 10 seconds of a 30-second clip, and then we have a fully sound design clip. So I'll be doing the first 10 seconds today, up until this point right here, with Mr. Mash hits the ball. I also just realized that this is not set up properly. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. So the clip we're going to be doing today is this. I'm going to play it real quick just for like anyone who's watching post. Right down here. So that is where we're gonna like go right until he hits the ball, probably right there, and like where it's traveling, and that's probably gonna be it. Because I need to get to the next frame, probably like right here maybe is probably where we're gonna stop. So like 12 seconds in. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing today. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's do it. Just gonna open my stream manager up so we can actually see the chat and stuff. So probably using both of my monitors today to make sure that my workflow is, you know, manageable. So we'll be doing that probably. So let's begin. So the first thing we probably want to start with is the impacts of that ball. So I'm going to mute this for now. But that ball impact is probably going to be something big and metallic and just large rock. The rock isn't smashing, but they're in the way that the anime does it. It's almost like a gunshot. That gives you an idea. I have a gun sample. So that could be a good start. Yeah, let's check out the gun sample. Let's do that. Sorry, you see like all my like files here. Where I think it's called like STE, I think is what I named the files are named. Oh yeah, I forgot I can't actually do that. I'm just gonna pull up on this side of my screen. Because I forgot you can't search very well in the file finder in Adobe for some reason. I think it's STE 2435, and then I don't think there was a 1. So I think this will be it for now. Is this my... Yeah, these are my gunshots. This one's weird. I don't know why that... These are all like my... Is this the shotgun? Yeah, this is the shotgun. For some reason, this one is really weird in... What is this one? This is number 4. Do I have a different 4? I feel like I'm supposed to have a different 4. Is it this one? Because I remember making edits to this a while back where it was less... Because you hear that clip noise. The issue is that... it doubles up. So I kind of like that one. I usually like this one. That one's pretty good. So we could probably layer that in to start. So the reason you see like this drop in the file here, because it's like a... So essentially what I think I can do is just either take this out. Let's start there. Still has a little bit of a click. I think it's probably this part right here. Okay. I kind of like that. Okay, that's perfect. Sweet. I'm going to save this so that I actually... No, I'm going to rename this file too if I can. Can I do that in here? Can I reveal and explore and then rename this? Yeah, I'll do it later. I'll just save it and export it for now. Because I do like this. File. Gunshot impact. So start there. So I think that will be a good, like, beginning part. Do I have... Also, let me check this. Do I have any other good impacts from this? Ooh. That one's pretty good. I probably can steal this one too. Unironically, I think this one might just be set to go, which is kind of nice. Yeah, so let me save that, and then export that to be just gunshot impact 2. And then there should be one more in here, which is... So we go back here and let me just Control Z this and get back to where we were. And then there should be one more right here, U. Wait, no, one more, even more. This one. Is there 4 of them? There's 4. Sick. I think the ball only bounces twice, though, if I remember, so I don't really think I need it, but I will check and see. Wait, how many times does this bounce mash? 1, 2, 3. 3 bounces. All right. So we need one more, so that's perfectly fine what we're doing right now. So this one can be my 3rd. Or do I want this one? Let's do... So I've done those 2, I think. Let's do the front one. Let's grab you too. All right. So the same deal with you. You have that weird clip, which is really weird. I don't know how it even happens like that. I wonder if I can just like remove this part of the actual file here, like just this half. Because I take that and I just lock the left out and then just delete this and then just pull it back and see what happens here. What happens then? Oh, I need both of them. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, no, it just makes a weird like double noise. It's not what we want. That'll do. All right, so we got 3 sounds ready to go for that. Gun impact noise 3. Okay, so now we got our 3. So now what we can do is go into here and we can insert those files back into this. So I want these in pace. Yes, I'm the greatest speller of all time, as you can see. All right, so now I got my 3, which is good. So I go back to here and I put these on each bounce of that ball to start. So we'll make this the gun layer. I'll probably layer it up a little bit too. So let me just zoom in on this a little bit easier so I can actually focus. There we go. So right here is where we want the sound to start. So we'll start with just number 1. Like that. Just like kind of fade that out. So yeah, just like that. All right, so then boom, and then 2. And then that'll be right here. Is that gonna mess up with that crossfade? We're gonna see. I kind of don't like how that does that. Let me put this back here and then just crossfade it and see how that goes. Yeah, no. Looks like I'm gonna have to do this on separate layers because I do want the tail. I want the tail from these. So also this is a little, I think, slightly unclipped. Yeah, it's a barely. There we go. That should fix my issues a little bit. There. That's a little better. All right. Then let me just shorten these up and fade them out. And I can go back up to the side. I'll just do gun layer 2. Then we'll take the 3rd one and we'll put that up here. Right when that ball hits. Right there. Alright, perfect. So now we have like that impact noise. The initial impact noise. So now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate this track. First duplicate select track. Boom. And then, because I know a little thing you can do is if you can pitch shift a little bit down like this. you get like a nice little like, you get a little bit more to it, and I like that a lot. So I'm gonna do that the same here. Let me duplicate this and then pitch it down. I'll just copy and paste that. So now, get a little bit more to it. Sick. All right, that sounds really, actually sounds pretty good so far. So now what we need is that we have like that impact, but I want a little bit more bass to it. So I think I'm just gonna throw a kick in there too, just like on this layer, like kick layer. So I think what I'm gonna do there is that I'm gonna put that as a kick drum, because that is usually good for that kind of extra bass. I think I just kick. Yep, 808 kick is what I'm looking for. It's just my go-to. I just use to add bass to things. So I'll just throw that in. Did that get in or no? I don't think it did. Adobe loves to show me that I'm highlighting something and then not do it. I'm just gonna do it here. All right, so we got the kick right here. So, oh, is this like a big just bass? Oh. Ugh. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. I want to just kick like an actual like. Did it call it kick drum? Ah, here we go. That's what I want. There we go. Yep, just like that. Perfect. So this will give us a little bit more bass layer, and then we're going to make this a lot quieter than the other files, so that when it hits, it'll be mostly just kind of like they're adding, so let me solo this a bit. Essentially just want it to be like a little bit quieter. Yeah, we just want like the bounce there. So then copy that and replace, we just put it 3 times. Then we unsolo. We probably want to make it a little louder. And then what we also want to do is that we probably want to take an EQ here and take off a little bit of that high because of how heavy that is. I'm going to put that on everything real quick and just see what that sounds like in the different. Don't know, maybe a little less. And change it all. All right, so I need to delete. Wait, I'm gonna reset that. Oh, I deleted that on accident. Delete, and then I'm going to copy that and put that back on all of these. Okay, I think that's nice because then, because this is supposed to be an undertone layer, I don't want this to be the gunshot to be the main part, because I think from what I saw in this, it kind of has a little bit of a chink to it, like a. So can I, let me test something. I don't know if this will work, but I'm gonna try a notch filter. I love notch filters because they like can be really good for just, where's the notch filter? I'm stupid. There it is. Notch filters can be really good for giving like things metallic, just like undertones. So if we like, I don't really think it's like essentially what a notch filter does is it basically increases the frequency of a very certain amount, like a very, very small portion of a sound wave that just makes it a little bit more like loud, essentially. So you'll hear like shing, shing, because you're hitting like a certain, like kind of like almost like notes. So if I soloed this, where's my notch filter? Oh, I see. I put it on the main track. I don't want that. I want it here. Now let me just delete that off there. Now if I solo this, honestly, what if I just leave that there and then You see how it has that like kind of metal ring now? So if I just... That's actually pretty sick. I like that. That's good. Kind of might want to let this extend out a little bit because that's like the final moment. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. So you extend that out at the end so that it now basically gets that nice bit of like room, kind of, because we're in a cave. We are in a cave. I think I'm gonna add like reverb too, because we are just in, like, to the mix itself, because we are just in this big open area. It looks like in this castle. So I think I'm gonna add just like a decent tail to this. Like, let me see what this sounds like. Didn't really change much, to be honest with you. What if I just like really jack this up? Like, let's go like 2 seconds. Could be good. We'll leave it there for now. If it starts messing with the mix, then we'll mess with it. Alright, so we got him bouncing the ball, but I do think I want to add a little bit more rock to it. Because it is hitting stone, and while the stone isn't cracking, I do want to add a little bit of like a rocky undertone. So I think what I'm going to do is I have a tater tot sample I used for my Mob Psycho, and I think that might be perfect for this. What did I name this file though? I don't remember. Rocky, I think? Like rock layer? Rock crumble layer, I think is what I was looking for. Is this it? That's what I'm looking for. It looks empty to me, but we will... Oh! What's this? What is this? Yeah, these are tater tots, which is kind of fun. So I think I want to add this like just as an undertone to the impacts of the actual strikes of the ball to the ground for the initial like thing here. So essentially what we'll do is we'll find this. I think we don't... Is there anything further than that? I think we can just cut that. We can slice and slice here. Rid of that and just bring these in, so now we have like a little bit of like difference here. So what we could do is you can lock this a little bit here, so essentially we'll get that initial like rock slam, so it'll sound like this. So you'll have like a little bit more like under, and then what I probably can do here is make that a little, extend that out a little more, so it's like a little bit more of a... Maybe too much. Let's try that. Let's try that. Okay, so we got that. I can just randomly pick another spot. Right here. And that here. We make this the same length as this one, so we have some nice... Why is that there? That's not what we wanted about this. And then we need, let me just copy this real quick. One more section of this. How about right there? So then let me turn this down and name this Rock Crumble. So just so we can get some more in there. Now what we want to do, gotta reach for my soda. Yeah. So now let's just, I want to basically, let me turn that down and see what the difference is there. Oh shit. Because I don't want it to be overpowering, because the rock is definitely not like destroying everything, so there's no point of making it like some really loud layer. I do want to duplicate this and just do the same thing I did above and just make it a deeper pitch a little bit, like 3 tones. And then what else I'll do to make it a little bit more fancy is I'm going to change the layers so that they are different, so that they'll get a little bit more of a variety there when it's crumbling around on the ground. So let's do like there for this one. Yep, there we go. And grab this one, just slide it over right here. That looks fine. Right there. I think I might be using this one up there, but like it's going to be mixing with the other layer anyway, so it's not like the worst thing in the world. I need that to match this one. There we go. So now gets a little bit more there. Now what we do is we unsolo this. So let's see what it sounds like all together. I like it. I think these need to be a little louder to come in with the rest of it. Maybe not. Maybe you need to be where you were. Also, I'm going to extend these out a little bit more. Just a bit. Give them a little bit more time to show up because I don't like how fast they cut out. Let me just also make their fade in a little bit longer so it doesn't like sound like they're just instantly dying right when they start. Let's try that. Yeah, I kind of like that because it's really subtle. It's not like super overbearing. I might turn it up a little bit, but I do think that that little bit of rockiness to it adds to the floor. Yeah, you hear that like little bit of a crumble there. I like that. All right, so now what we need to do is I want to add, I think, a little bit more to this layer. Maybe not. Let me see what the original does. Okay, so now what I think what I'm hearing here is the travel of the ball. Because as you see here, that ball is not just... We're hearing that explosion, but we're not hearing the whoosh of the air coming through at the ball. So, time to make some white noise. White noise can be really good for just making whoosh noises. So let me open up Vital. So Vital is a synth. This is Vital. Look at this. Wow. You'll prepare. Makes really terrible noises. But when you do this, we use white noise. I'm not going, don't worry, we're going to not blow people's ears out. When you filter out the top end of white noise, you get this kind of like nice, like almost like, it sounds like you're at an ocean, you know, and then you can do this. You can make this, do this LFO. Essentially what this is it's marking. Over time, you can make a parameter go up and then straight down, like as if it's going up this graph. So like if I took this LFO and I dragged it to pitch, it will go up and down. So like if I did like this, right on that curve, right? If I put it here. So essentially that's what we're betting on. So now what you can do here is if you stretch this out too, this is the initial like push of the key. You see you're already kind of getting there. So then you do this so that when you hit it, and then because this little dot here is the volume. So look at that, we're already getting somewhere. Look at that. So my attack, I want to make it a little bit longer. So what I want to do is match the curve. I think That'll do. Now what we can do is add a little bit. Is there like a way I could add like a shing to this? Is that a thing I could do? I don't know if synth is very good at making metal noise, but I'll try it. Let me add this to filter 2 and just... That's more like a... Whoom, whoom. That's not what we're looking for. Because I could also try it just with adding that, like, the notch filter to it. Yeah, I'm going to try that, actually. I'm going to go to effects and to see if I can, like... I do like that reverb on it. And then let me add a little chorus. Nah, that sounds shitty. Okay, cool. So we have our whoosh. So now what we do is we go back to Audition. We're going to have to move this over here for a second. Come here, boy. Oh, wait, no, I'll move Audition over here for a second. So essentially what we can do with Audition is that you can make a new file. I'll name this ball whoosh spec. So now what we do is we can go over to my edit and my preferences and then my audio hardware. And now voice mod here, right here, as you can see, is actually supposed to do that, because what this can do with Vital is that you can send this out into not my Windows audio, which is going through my headphones right now, so you won't hear the synth anymore, because I'm going to put it through to my voice mod, wherever that is, right here, so that now you can't hear it. However, if you go back to Audition, I have to move it over here so you can actually see both, because I need to push the keyboard at the same time here. We can hit record and then straight up just do this. It sounds like I'm doing nothing right now. One sec. Once we're done, I'll pull it back. So now we did it. Look, pops up here. Magic. So now we have our whoosh. So now we have ball whoosh SFX. So now we can take ball whoosh and we can put ball whoosh in its own little layer. We'll name this ball movement, because I think that will be the best. So let me zoom. You have to like stretch it because this is a really quiet file. So I need to probably boost this a little bit. They're going to be the same, so I don't need all three. So now we look for when the ball starts moving. However, the ball is moving off screen, so we do need to keep that in mind. So I probably want to start it right at the beginning here. Yeah, like right there. And then go like this, and can I zoom this out more? No, I can't. It's just really small, sadly. Not small, but it's like you gotta like really zoom in there so you can see where the file is. Let me turn this up. Maybe I do want the beginning of that. Yeah, right there. All right. And this will fade out. Now what I also want to do is I want to add that notch filter. So in theory, we should be able to get a little bit of the metal on that too. As well. There, right there. So I just split this. Not much. I probably just didn't up these enough. I don't remember if I made like a metal one for this. Oh, okay, we're getting there. You hear that? So then we turn this up. You see, you're kind of hear that it's metal now. A little bit, maybe a lower so that it gets more of that bassy. Okay. Maybe a little too much. Yeah, okay. So now, that's pretty good. We copy this and repeat the process 2 times for the other ball. So now we boom, up, and then boom again, right? So like probably, honestly, I think it probably just starts right at the end of it. Yeah, okay, I think it might just do that again. This one I think needs to start a little earlier. Yeah. Okay. So now what we can do is we can duplicate this track and do the same thing we did before, where we make this a little bit deeper here, so we get that little bit of the lower end of this, so we get a little bit less of a pitch. Look at that. Look how much better that sounds. Oh, it's peak. It's peak! Maybe not peak, but it's cool. So let me turn these down a little bit, so that because I have 2 layers now competing here. So now we unsolo these and we listen and see what we get here. I think I want to make these louder because those are way too quiet. I like it. I'm liking it. Maybe I want to... Okay, new idea. Not crazy anything new. I think I'm going to go up with this a little bit too. Just a little bit high end. That was a good choice. Because it adds a little bit more of that like shing to it, which is perfect. We are getting there. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to get the now do I do like a if that makes sense. We have like the let me go back to pilot here. We have the up to down, like when it goes down. Do we want the reverse of that too? I'm kind of curious if that would sound like. Woom, 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 woom. Do we want a woom, woom? Let me just... So in theory, what I could do is just take these, Control C, Control V, and then just slide them down 3. I'm gonna have to do this really slowly. To make 3 new tracks. Then, here, we slide them when the ball goes up. So it hits the ground. Wow, that's loud. And then it starts going back up right here. So if I slide this here. Then also, maybe a little earlier. And then we make these ones quieter, which they are. It's perfect. Yeah, I kind of like that. So basically, let me turn these a little bit more down. So essentially, these are going to be a little bit like of an undertone for that ball going back up to his hand. Maybe a little louder, like 1 decibel. I like it. I like ye. So now... Oop, I got a text. Alright, cool. So now what we need to do is we need him grabbing the ball. I honestly am not a terrible fan of how the anime does this, because when I heard it, it sounds like he's like, the ball's like interestingly layered. Maybe it's like a ball that like you can like squish and like a little bit like that. But like I don't want to do that. Maybe tinfoil? I have a tinfoil layer that I used for a car crash in a car racing game recently. So let me see if that helps me here. Tinfoil. Do I have that here? Tinfoil. Yeah. So my tinfoil layer. Let me put you in here. Also, let me make sure I have my layers named here. Ball movement up. Ball movement up 2, and then ball movement up 3. Now, tinfoil, Mr. Tinfoil layer. This is like me crushing tinfoil. So maybe something like that. I'll give it a shot. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I'm going to give it a go because it could be cool. Also, these are extremely big now, so I need to make them smaller because I don't need them as big anymore. So. Now I can zoom in better like this, and now everything kind of matches. So I'll put my tinfoil layer down here. So this will be the grabbing of the ball. That part. So right. Boom. Boom. Right there is where we want to start. So let's just grab a Let me just see what this sounds like here. Is this supposed to be punching it? Yeah. That might be okay. I kind of want a little bit more to it, though. Okay. I like that. A quick pop to the metal. Okay, that was okay. I like that one. So let me... Here. So we want it. So then... we slide this... here. Okay, so it's a little empty, which is fine because we can just do the classic duplicate the track. Tinfoil layer. Track, duplicate the track. Then we can do a little bit of pitch down, just a slight bit, 3 semitones. Turn this layer down. It seemed kind of loud when I first heard it, so let me go 6th here. And I kind of like, this is a complete accident. It kind of is, I like it moving with his hand, that noise, that little extra bit at the end there, so I'm going to keep that. I kind of like that. And then I think I want to make a 3rd layer, but even deeper. Because it feels too high. It still feels too light. I need it to be heavy. And pitching it down will probably give me that. So I'm going to go like real deep with this. And just really make this the layer that comes through and make these ones a little bit not as high. Yeah. But even then, it still feels like I'm grabbing, like, tin. Because it's very interesting to listen to this. I solo this. Right, when he grabs that ball. It's interesting because it's like, it doesn't sound very powerful. So, I almost feel like it needs to be heavier. Now, what if, okay, here's another idea. What if I put a kick there to give it some bass? Like right when it hits his hand. Right here. It's too loud. It's too bassy. It's not what I'm looking for, I don't think. I need like a hand noise. You gonna do this to me while I'm doing audio work? Fine. Fine. Sorry, I have clothes on my ground and sick. Out of the way, chair. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. Oh. Yeah. There you are, your 100 push. Your 100 crunches. Yeah. Back to making MASHLE sounds. Alright, so I do think I want to make this like a little quieter. Because I think that's might kind of be what throwing me off. Yeah, okay. Maybe slow more. No more. Yeah, okay. So now what we need to do is I need like a grip noise. What do I have around me to grip? Do I have something I could use? Me. Not this. One second, I'm looking for something. Metal object that could be good for grip. No, that's too coiny. Kind of like this. This is my Joy-Con holder for my Switch. Which is pretty funny. So this might honestly be pretty good. I think. I don't know. We're gonna see. It's interesting. Okay, so I actually get to do some Foley work. I like the little Foley work. All right, did not want to do that. Let's try it again. So we make a new little audio layer. Joy-Con controller grip, I guess, is the name of this. So then, now we got to go back to our files here. We need to change this into my actual microphone, just like a straight up microphone, because I don't want to use the noise compressed version I use for my stream because it could knock out some of the frequency. So now we need to just be really quiet and just lock in and just. How did I grab it initially? I think dropping and catching it is going to be the best way to do it. All right. The reason I didn't say anything there was because the fact is that I want to get a noise print. So what you can do with Audition, super cool. You can take this. This is essentially my background noise. You can copy noise print of that. And then essentially I get this little window. What I can do is I can adjust the amount of noise I take out, which is basically that background noise. So I can do this, and then I can apply it like 80%. Boom. And now we have less background noise. That's interesting. It's giving me some feedback. That was a bad one. That's too loud. One second, I need to make it. What the heck? That's so weird. Why is there so much feedback there? Huh. Real quick, I just want to. There we go. Okay. I just unplugged and replugged it back on my mic. I want to re-record this. I don't know why that feedback was there. Okay. Hello, how you doing? There you go. Sick. All right, now we try noise print again. Welcome into the noise. That's good. Glad to hear it. Doing pretty good. Doing some audio work right now, as you probably can see. So now that we did that, I have my grippy noise, which is good. Save this as a file. Go into my MASHLE redesign. And now I'm going to add this to my tinfoil layer at the bottom here. Joy-Con controller layer. So now let me so let me just find the one I like the most here. I think I liked this one. Maybe not that one. What the big one right here? Yeah, too much. The fourth one was pretty good. I like this one. Yeah, let's go with that one. That one sounds pretty good. All right. Yeah, so Helga, what we're doing today right now is we are redesigning this clip for MASHLE. The first 10 seconds. And then the next few days I'll be going through and finishing the rest. And at the end, once we're all finished, we'll have a nice fully 30-second redesign of this clip, which is going to be pretty cool. All right, so we time this up with the tin, maybe a little earlier so it has a time to show through. So a little earlier, right there. Because we want the grip there. Turn this up a little bit. Then duplicate this track because I want to add a little extra bass at the bottom. Same as always, add a little third. Yeah, okay, so now, turn this up a little bit. Oh, forgot to cut that end off. A little bit, yeah. Okay, so now we fully do this and see what it sounds like. Let's see what we got so far. I think this is a little loud. Maybe even a little less from the tinfoil. Yeah, sorry I'm not playing Roblox today, Helga. I know that's what you... Way back in 2020, I remember that. That's crazy. It's been so long. Oh. Let me see here. Let me turn this up too. I think I like that. Okay. It's pretty good. So now we move on to the next little section of the clip here. So we have the ball. Ball bounce. He catches it, moves his hand. Then he's preparing to basically here throw that thing in the air and like smack it. So we want like a big ass whoosh here because this thing's gonna go flying. Because that's a big, essentially I think that's like a big metal ball that is way heavier than it looks. At least that is my guess. So what we need to do is we need to have that thing be damn crazy going up in the air. So type in a message. Okay, gotcha. So we have this, and so we want this whoosh to be huge. Sorry, I'm playing the game. Solidify. Listen, this is pretty cool. Yeah, no, this is what I'm doing for my. This is what I do for my job. This is like, I surprised you remember me. Haha, I love that book. I said, yeah, no, I remember the back in the old days. Yeah, I just recently started streaming again because I'm back from college. I just graduated. Like back in 2020, I was in dude, that's crazy. That's so long ago. That's 6 years. I was a sophomore in high school. Now I'm graduated from college. I'm out. So yeah, now this is what I do for my job. I do audio design. Essentially, what I'm doing here is I'm taking samples of stuff like Foley work I did. This is like all stuff I collected, like ball, like the rock crumbling. I use like tater tots and stuff. It's a fun time. It's great, a lot of stuff. And basically, I'm doing this for my job so that I can keep up just my practice, and also just essentially my industry is super competitive, so it's really tough to like get into it. So showing that you're consistent is a good way to start kind of like getting there. So that's what we're doing. So now, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was gonna make a whoosh. Really big whoosh with vital. So I need a big whoosh. This is not gonna cut it. We need a large whoosh. So I need to turn this up for sure. I think I want to add a compressor on it. Okay, that's definitely giving it something. Let me take away some of the high. And we want it to be a little longer too. It's going a little fast. Let me turn down the frequency a little bit. A little too long. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe quicker? No, it's too fast. Okay. What about chorus? Does chorus help me at all here? Not really. It's kind of bad. Let me turn down the number of voices. It kind of just makes it sound like it's a robot. I don't really want that. That's not really what I'm looking for. Delay? I kind of like that, like it's like that super cool toss-up. Okay, hang on. I'm kind of liking that. What's the phaser do? Ooh. I kind of like that a lot. Wait, okay. Let me try that with... Okay, so I need to swap this to my voice mod again. So I'm going to go back to my audition. I need to drag this over here for a second so I can actually play with it. I'm going to add this new audio file. Crazy whoosh for ball toss. So I guess I'll name it. And then I need to change my preferences to be... a different thing. I need to be voice mod again. Where's voice mod? There you go. Yes. Okay, so now we record and we should be able to just do this. Hold on, why is it recording my mic? That's not what we want. Why are you doing that? Did I not save, perhaps? Ah, no, I was an idiot. I changed my output, not my input. There we go. Which one? There we go. I'm gonna do this a few times because the flanger can be different for each one. I kind of want the one that goes up. And okay, that should be enough samples. So we can change this back. Drag this back over. Wow, congrats on graduating. You got this job recently, or what did you, also, my major is games and interactive media. I don't have a job yet. I graduated like last month. 2 months ago. Essentially my industry is super competitive. So like applying for jobs can be incredibly tough because of just like, just everything. So many people apply for them. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show my employers, if they see this, that like, hey, look, he's doing stuff and this is how he does it, because technique is a huge thing. I'm assuming the one that goes up is what I'm looking for. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna sound good. I like it. Okay. So we have crazy ball toss, and then going back to MASHLE. So then crazy ball toss whoosh. I'll save this and save it for later, and then I will put this into the big one. Crazy ball toss, go! All right, so now crazy ball toss will be sent in as ball toss whoosh, and then I got so many layers here. Okay, so I think it's this one. Yeah. So essentially that's going to be right when he throws the ball up. And then right there. Whoosh. Like right here, I guess. Put it. Yeah. Right there. Perfect. That sounds great. All right. So now we need to add the layer for his clothes. Because the big thing is that right now he only has that ball. Like we need like a don't know how to describe it, like a quick beat of a cloth, because he's got this huge cloak on. And it moves around a lot there. Let me see how the original does it and just make sure. Let's see how the original does it here. See how they do it. Yeah, they have like a whoosh attached to it. So they basically have the ball toss there, and then essentially the ball toss is kind of like, we need some like cloth beats almost to kind of like match his how does that look? Oh, interesting. What do you do with this when you're finished? So basically what I'm gonna do is, oh, here, I guess I can show you. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically, each time I finish one, I'm gonna post it on YouTube and my website, essentially, so that every time I finish something new, I get a new piece for my portfolio. Because if let me pull up my website here. You're gonna get my name, but I honestly don't really care because it's kind of for employers anyway. Well, this is my website, right? So I basically have this big my website here basically shows off all my work. This is my best work. These are like things, you click on them, they show you links to the like page, and then they give you like examples of like how I did things, right? And then like you can play the game, you can do like see the file I used like to make the sounds and stuff. All of that is in here. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new page to this where it is like redesign like central, and then have like another box under these ones right here where it'll be like my most recent set redesign, right? Because every time I finish one of these every week, I'll be able to keep swapping that out and then keep building up this massive backlog of just like, look at all this I've been doing, right? Essentially, that is the idea of what I'm going for. At least that is hope. Who knows what'll happen though? Because the industry is tough. It's so tough, man. It's very hard to do, man. But yeah, we will see. So we need a cloth layer for this. So what we want to do is we want to take a cloth and shake it around. So I think my t-shirt here should be fine for that, in theory. At least I think so. We're running this to the bigger. One sec. Where's my sheet? Yeah. Got this big ass sheet here. Like a. Yeah, I think that will do. Alright, I need to move this. I can actually get close to my mic here. Alright, so now we need to make a new file. Sheet shake, I guess is the best way to put it. Sheet shake. Now we're going to need to edit my thing again so I can actually record this. Sheet shaking. Microphone, yes. Okay. Now I gotta go silent for a few seconds here so I can actually record this. So give me 1 sec. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. So now, apply that. So now we can add that to be his coat when it shakes. So if we go back to the MASHLE redesign, we go to sheet shake here, and we add that in as a layer all the way down at the bottom. Let's name it cloth layer. So which one did I like? I remember seeing one of them looked really good. I liked the one in here. Where is it? Is this one? Yeah, that one right there is what I'm looking for. So basically when he does that, we want the sheet stake to start right then. And then we'll go a little bit here. Oh yeah. You see that? You see how much that adds? Just like such a minuscule thing gives it so much more character. Alright, let me hit it a little louder. That is MASHLE. This is a anime about a dude with like big muscles and he goes to magic school, essentially. It's just he doesn't have magic. He just uses his muscles. So now let me do the classic trick. Duplicate and pitch down. Yo, it's really funny. It's a good anime. It's a very comic heavy, like comedy heavy anime, I would say. A lot of it's like, you know? Oh, he's I remember one of the parts in the anime is just him like kicking his legs in the air to fly, right? It's like that kind of stuff. Yeah. Let me I don't there's like a weird like artifact at the very end of this. Let me see if I can just get out of it with like just a little bit of fade out. Yeah, there we go. Got rid of it. I think I want to do the same trick here too. It is pretty good. I would 100% recommend it. It's pretty short. I think it only has 2 seasons right now. I don't know if they're making another season. I don't remember if they are or not. Kind of don't remember off the top of my head. I'm going to make this a little quieter. But I thought it would be a good one to start with because it's just a lot of like fun stuff that he does. And like the tennis bracket's really funny. So we're almost there. We are right there is the end. So essentially, at least for today, we are basically going to do 10 seconds every day. And once we are done with that, it'll be very cool. It's going to be super sick. So now that we've done this, so we have the whoosh of the ball, kind of. Boom. Now we need the impact of that ball getting smashed. So the thing is, I don't have a tennis racket is my issue. I need a tennis racket. Can I mimic that somehow? Just had an idea. This is going to be an interesting idea, and it's probably not going to work, but this is what I think might happen. This could be interesting. It's not a tennis racket, but it has those lines on it. An elastic tie might work. Yeah. Something like rubbery. This might work. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if it's going to give us what we want, though. Yeah, like... I kind of like the noise it's making. I don't think it's what we're looking for, but I will add it as a layer for this because it has that kind of like that vibration. So I think I'm going to keep this. It's not going to be what I'm only going to use, but I am going to record this real quick. So I'm going to go silent again. Fan covers. Fan covers. All right. All right. Let me put this back on my fan. This is what Sound Design is all about, baby. I love doing this kind of stuff. Just finding random objects in my room is always the best part. Just being like, okay, let's see if this works. You know? And then we find a new sound that maybe it wasn't what we're looking for, but I never would have found that if I didn't try. I'll definitely have to lower the level of this for sure. It's way too loud, but the vibration's a little too heavy. Maybe not for these last 3. These last 3 could work. Let's put that in. we're gonna try it. I don't know if it's gonna work. We're gonna give it a go. So fan cover smack. So now this is, we still need to do a little bit more before this, but I do just kind of want to get the impact of the ball done. So right, boom, right there. It's gonna sound so that'll be like my initial layer. I think I like the vibration noise mostly, not the actual impact. Because that sounds pretty weak. So we definitely need... So what I want to do is I'm going to take another one of these gunshot layers up here, and I think I'm going to layer that into the actual impact as well. So we need to find another gunshot, which I think, if I remember correctly, I should have one more layer in here that I have not used out of this yet. I think. At least I think so. In theory, I think this one. Yeah, so if I take this one right here, cut out this weird thing, cut out that, save, file, export this to be gun impact 4. So then we go back to this, we file and open, and we grab gun impact 4. So then we have gun impact 4, and then we go back up to here. Where's MASHLE? There it is. Yeah, I want the gun impact 4. Impact 4. So this will be the impact noise for the ball smack and that. Right there. I think that's lined up. Yeah. So put that here. We do that, and then we copy that down here, and we line that up, and then we take this and we copy that there, so we get that full impact there. Interesting. Okay, this needs to be quieter. I don't want it to be too overbearing. I do want it to maybe a little pitch down too. I don't know if the gun needs to... The gunshot feels like too much. I need it to be more hollow. Also, that doesn't line up. Just funny. I feel like I do need... So then here, we can add a little bit more while we're trying to figure out this impact noise. What we can do is come back here and essentially turn all this off again. We need to reset. So essentially what we can do now is we can add a the spinning of the ball when it's like on the racket, be turning fast. So what we can do is take off this envelope entirely and remove this. So we're kind of there, but what you can do is you can randomize the... Is it the level and the pitch I want to randomize? Yeah, maybe make this a little bit... Then we want to make the high end more prevalent here and the low end not as prevalent. Okay, that's way too crazy. Okay, we want a little bit in the middle then. You go shower, but it was nice talking to you. Good luck with the pot. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day, Helga. Increase the frequency of that randomization. Yeah, I like that a lot. All right, so now we go back into the audition. Is there something I could use to get that, like, tennis noise? I don't know if there is. I don't know if I have it yet. Unless I have a tennis racket. I guess I could steal a sample. That's something I could do. I'm not usually like using samples because it's like it feels like I'm cheating, but like I don't have a tennis racket. I would just use a tennis racket. All right, tennis racket it is. So first off, I do want to record that spin while I'm here. Ball spin. I guess is the best way to put it. All right, so let me change this up again to my preferences, audio hardware to, I'll probably have dinner ready about 6:30. Cool, awesome. I'll change that to my voice mod, yes. Okay. Over here. Then we change this to voice mod. Go! Make the noise. That'll do. Alright, cool. This noise has been made. Alright, so. So now I got a sis noise, you know? You know? So now the sis noise is here. We can put this on the ball spinning and traveling through the air when it happens. So balls, boss. I love balls. So right when this impact happens, when it starts spinning. So we want to do it like this, and then have it fade in off of that impact. So we want to like this, probably like there. And turn it down probably pretty. So it travels about to here is when it kind of gets there. So we have that cis undertone. It's not gonna be, that's not the only thing we're gonna hear. So that's when it hits. What if I like bit crunch this? Maybe the crunching it will help it. But just like fucking cook it. Because I love using this thing. I love cooking things with this thing. Because sometimes you can get some goofy. It's a little bit goofy. And then we need another like small impact there where I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to automate the volume here and jump it when that pushes off the racket. Because he's like right there. We want to have it jump up a bit. Like down again. So what will happen is it'll make it sound like it's pushing off. Did not do what I wanted it to. Try a more aggressive push. I might need a whoosh for that instead of doing it like this. That's probably what I need to do. Gonna need a whoosh. I just steal, maybe I just steal the normal whoosh that I have here. Do I just take a ball toss whoosh here and just try to slack it there? Let me try that. That's not where I want it to be. I want it to be right. I think honestly that works pretty well. It's like traveling through the air. Yeah, I kind of like that push again. So now what we need to do, oh, I'm stupid. I can change the sample too because I have multiple of them. Maybe I can do a downwards one for this one here. So I have multiple. I forgot I recorded multiple. I'm almost so smart. Look at me go. Yeah. That's what we want. I like it a lot. So we need, okay, now let me go, I'm just gonna pull this up on this side so we can actually look together. All right, YouTube. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, what's going on with I do want to check the World Cup. Might as well take a look at the scores because I'm kind of interested. What happened? England versus Croatia. Yay. That's actually a close game, surprisingly. Kind of thought Croatia would cook them. What the heck? 4 draws? Huh? Wow, that's kind of crazy. Draw, loss. Kind of thought Haiti would lose, but... Okay, we won. Good job, U.S. Good shit. Germany won. Germany, Ecuador, and whatever. Yep. Japan, Sweden. Yep. Group shit. Group G. H. J. Argentina won. How did Argentina... How many did they win by? 3-0? Messi scored 3 goals? Holy moly. Dude starts his damn... with the hat trick. Holy shit. Wow. Holy moly, Lionel Messi. I thought you were washed. Well, I mean, that's a lie. Tennis matches. I just want like the impact of the tennis racket. Like this would be great. Can I just like hear this? Or is it gonna be too loud? Like, was there gonna be commentary and shit? I just want the quiet like niceness of the attack. Okay, I don't know if I can. I need like a closer one. I guess maybe they got something like here. These are so bad. These don't sound good though. Oh, this guy. I need a sound. This one was okay. Not this first one. This one was ass, but I think it was trying to show. Sounded bad. It's so quiet though. Let me check Pixie Bay. It's a pretty good place to check. Let me see. Tennis rackets. I just need a tennis racket hit because it needs to be like that. That's just really bad though. That one's pretty good. That's bad. No. Two games old. Man, if only I just had a tennis racket, I'd be able to make a good one. Sadly, I don't have a tennis racket. I think I'm gonna steal this one. This one seems okay. I wish I had a tennis racket. Ah, it's whatever. It's fine. Sometimes you just gotta do it. Just gotta take a sample. Eat whatever. Fine, but tennis racket. Give me the tennis racket ball. All right. So now this will go here as well. So that initial shot. Whoa, that's loud. Holy shit. Why is that so loud? kind of want to put it there. Wait, no, that's way too late. Okay. Turn it down a little bit. Tennis racket hit, and then we want to duplicate this and pitch it down a little bit so we get more there. It's definitely going to be just quieter in general. Too quiet. Maybe just total pitch down might be a better idea here. I think you need to line it up with this here. And then I want to take off a little bit of the high end because it's really jarring. Okay, it's pretty good. Okay. I think I will put the gunshot, but really, I want to make a new layer. I need to make a new gun layer. I need gun layer. I need gun layer 3. I need another one. Because I don't want it. So I'm going to make a duplicate of this track to then delete. Oh, it's so hard to tell which one it is. All right. Let me just make a new track. Track. Add audio stereo track, and then track. Add audio stereo track, and then this will be gun. Wait, shit. I put it in between the two. Shit. Okay, let me move this below this one, and then move this one below this one. There we go. Back to okay. Gun for ball hits. Because I want like a big impact for that. All right, gun for ball hit, and then 2. So then we take gunshot 4, the impact noise for that, and then we find that in so he hits it. So where do we hit that? Right there. Yeah, we'll just line it up with the kick. Then just take this, Control C, Control V, and then Control C, Control V, and then we should, now we turn this shit way down so that it doesn't overpower the rest of it. So where's the, I'm getting like some desync here. Feels like I'm like hearing two impacts at once. A little more. Maybe we do add a little distortion. I kind of like it. I kind of want distortion a little bit of power there. You know, give me some more. Give me some of that. All right, let me. No. Kind of like the. Okay. Where is that desync happening? Right there. This is happening a little too early. Like a little tiny bit more. There we go. Okay, that's what we want. And then the kick drum. Just make sure that lines up too. Okay, that one also really doesn't. There we go. Now, let's try that again. Let's still solo. Oh, you. And you. I'm liking it. Let's turn the bass up on this so that we get a little bit more. We get a little bit more in there. Same for this. So I don't want to get more bass on that because I want it because this is like the big shot. I need more bass. I need some more pizzazz, you know? A little bit more. Give me some bass. Give me a little more. Give me some bass, man. All right. That is another distortion, isn't it? You are another distortion. And then here too. Wait, you already have something there. I will just touch you. A little bit more bass. Maybe a little more like oomph on everything. Including the kick layer. Can I just like, well, let me just, this one I know I can just do with the properties instead. So I can just make this one specifically louder than you two. Yeah, there we go. And then there's that sonic wave right there. And we also have his jump. We need his jump too. So how does the anime do his jump? I'm kind of curious. Oops. Brought it back. Oh yeah, so you have like the creaking of his muscles and his shoes. So you want leather there is what we want. So for the jump, he gets up there. We want like probably some leather samples there, which I have, which is perfect. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to have that jump. So I definitely want to start with just the leather layer. Let me go get that sound clip. I have lots of leather. I've done leather. So much leather twisties, bro. I call them. The leather twisties, you know? Because it's just so much leather, bro. I love twisting leather. I think that'll be perfect for us. Right here. So let me just, no, I'm not going to save that because I don't want to re-overwrite that sound. But this will be perfect for what we want. And right here, right when you push this foot down. Excuse me, sorry. Whenever he pushes down the leather in his toes, I want to go. We want it to stop right here and then kind of fade out because it's basically his foot's off the ground now. So we want like right there. And then we want to duplicate this track. Do as we always do. A little bit of the pitch. And then I also want to swap this layer out with something different. So like we just offset it a little bit so that it gives it a little bit more variation. Right there, and look at that. And we want like a big like whoosh as he pushes off and gets that big burst of speed. There's probably gonna be another something. Can I maybe mess with my impact layer I made? I made an impact noise for something like right here. Oh shit, forgot. Need to change this back to this. So if I take this and I go like this, don't really want this. What did I put on this thing? Yeah, I cooked this thing. could work. Let's do that. Let's try this. Okay. Switching to voice mod. Going back to audition. Do I already have this in? Don't remember if I changed it already. Yeah, it's good. Cool. There it is. Huge whoosh. Okay. So we do that, and then we go back to here, and then we just push the button. Whoosh. 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 Okay. Let's see how that went. Definitely not these ones because they clip. I think this one is my best one. Okay, so now we got huge whoosh. Okay. Huge whoosh goes right under leather twisties. And that is right when he leaves the ground. So right when his feet start going up, right here is what I want to start at. Yeah, okay. Huge whoosh is a big success. And I think I want to do the same thing. Big whoosh for jump. Track. Duplicate, select a track, and then make this into a pitch shifter down a little bit to give it a little bit more oomph. And then I think I want to add a whoosh for his racket. So let me steal these. It's like right here. Oh wait, I kind of forgot. These don't have their whooshes start later in their file. I need to go a little bit quicker here. I also need to turn these up. So I'm going to turn this one up by 6 decibels. This one up by 6 decibels. And this one up by 6 decibels. Maybe even a little louder. Let's go 9 decibels. Okay, a little too not. There's no whoosh. It's just air. One sec. I kind of cut it too early, I think. Let's try that. I think with that now I have. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we got some whoosh there now. Maybe I want it to be louder. I don't know why, but I do. Can I just do it here? Oh, yeah, I can. Sick. Let me go up to 11 of these. A little bit more. Give me some more. Give me some more. There we go. Okay. See how it sounds right now. So the last thing we need is that, like, that push off. Does huge whoosh fit there for the big push off? I don't think it does. I think it's too big of a whoosh. Also, I don't want to like overload because it's the same noise twice. Yeah, I think I want like something different there. Definitely some sort of whoosh, but not this whoosh. Different whoosh. So what if we made the bass here? Actually, what if I just edited it? Hang on. Let me take a big whoosh. Let me take big whoosh and make it weirder. Make big whoosh different in a different, cooler way, I guess. Maybe highlight these tracks. Like no, just Control C, Control V. Bring this shit down. Bring that shit down, and then now we have whoosh again. Probably right here is where we're gonna start. We do this, and then we use a different big whoosh. Or did I only record one big whoosh? I'm a dumbass. I recorded only one big whoosh. Do I still have big whoosh not saved? Did I say big whoosh? I'm gonna say big whoosh. Dang it! Huge whoosh. Where's huge whoosh? Huge whoosh. Can I Control Z this? Yes. Huge, 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 huge. What about this one? Right here. Like the second one. The second one right here, like this big one. And I do need something that's kind of like a, for the ball too. So what did they do for this? I want to see what they did. Just kind of like give me an idea here. You know, I could add some guitar to that, because what they're doing is that they're making it sound like, you know, like it's almost sparking, which could actually work really well. So I add like a spark layer to like the tennis ball spin layer here. Need to rename my tracks too. One sec. Fan cover, and then let me see. Do I have my fuse noise maybe? How about fuse layer here? Fuse layer. Drag this in up here. Simply a fuse. Where's my fuse? I thought I had a fuse. Am I crazy? I thought I had a fuse in here. Let me at least get my guitar out. My guitar noises. Guitar shings. This is my thing I was thinking for the ball. Let's try that. Yeah, okay, let's go back to MASHLE Redesign. And we put the guitar string in there, baby. One second, I need to scroll down so I can actually make it there. Okay. The guitar string, baby. Alright, guitar. So then we put the guitar string. Right when that thing hits the ball, we want, right there, we want that shit to start. And just fucking solo this real quick and just see what we got. I want it to last about right there. And then I want it to fade out because it is dying off and moving away from the screen. So play it a little louder. Guitar string, and then I want to duplicate this track again, but this time I want to do like a kind of, I want to just layer that another part of this in there so that I can get a little bit more of the, like the spinny noise. Then we make it a little deeper, because it's always fun to do that. I want to make this last a little longer. Alright, it seems like it is time to eat food soon, so I'm gonna go and I'll be back soon. I'm trying to put it on be right back. I'll be back soon. We are back from dinner. It is time to continue our little session. We're pretty close to being done with this part. Do my headphones turn off? I assume they did, yeah. So I can't hear any of this right now. I don't think you guys can either because I don't have... Oh, it does. It is catching it. Alright, what do we got right now? Then we need like a other like whoosh. Like another guitar shing that's like a little bit more powerful at the point where he releases the ball from the racket. Right there. And turn these down a little bit. And then maybe still a little quieter. Because I definitely like the noise. It's giving a little bit of texture there. And we are at 10 seconds, I think. This is pretty solid right now. So let's see what we... Oh yeah, the last fun part I like to do. I like to add a music track. We just need to steal it or something. Track. Add stereo track. So, music layer. This is like just MASHLE music, I assume is what I'm going to do. MASHLE OST, like, no, I don't want MST, I want OST. Series 2 is this one. I think this is probably a good one to use. All right. Let's MP4. Real quick, MP3 cal, please. Thank you. Download. Cool. Series Steel. Let me open this up. Put that open. So then series still goes here. Definitely need to turn this down for sure because this is loud. Here we go. Maybe a little bit too loud still. Definitely need, I think, a higher pitch for the whoosh. Can I add a little, maybe like add this? Let me add this top layer, another one, match it up here, and then make this one specifically a little quieter so we get a little bit more top end. Okay, a little too quiet. What does this sound like? Let me double both up. Yeah, I think this is sounding pretty good right now. We'll definitely gonna add a little bit, I think, tomorrow when I work on this again. Yeah, I do also want to add some vocal grunts too. I'm gonna save this for now. Yes to all, please. Save again, and we should be good to go. All right, good stream. Hope everyone enjoyed this. I don't know how many people are here, but I appreciate